okay, all right, there's no national commission to say, okay, listen, I want you in my office Monday morning. We're going to watch this. You got to explain to me what the hell you did here or what you didn't do, because you didn't give an 8 count. You let him go to the corner. Last I checked, the rules have not changed in boxing. There are no timeouts. What did you do? Why did you do that? And if I don't get the right answer, you're suspended. You're suspended.
He got away with it. But the sport let him get away with it. There's nothing wrong with the fighters. It's the administrators of this sport that there's a lot wrong with. And there is. And you see it. And we shouldn't keep seeing it. It's got to be stopped. A referee, that is not in the rule book. You get hit with a jab. I know there was a second or two in between. Sometimes you see a delay, knockdown, whatever. The punch didn't hurt him. I understand that. But he got hit a jab, and then a second, 2 seconds later, he takes a knee. Guess what? I'm sorry. That constitutes a knockdown. Your knee goes down.
With his assessment of the Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach fight, Teddy Atlas has just dropped a massive bombshell. Well, it's quite understandable since the eye of a veteran boxing trainer is detailed enough to pick what boxing casuals and random fight fans won't see. This makes his unique and different perspective very much welcome by the boxing community without much controversy. And here's what he has to say.
Down after a punch somewhere around there. That's a knockdown. There is, again, we're not in football. There are no fair catches here. You know what I mean? And if it was, to your point last night when I said it, it would be a touchback. You know what I mean? It would, if you took a knee in a certain situation, it would be a touchback. There were rules for a reason. Unless even Crawford came out. The great Terrence Crawford.
In light of this controversial clash between the pair, which has captured the attention of much of the boxing community, Atlas has spoken out and revealed who he believed was winning the fight. Then the final bell rang. Speaking on his own YouTube channel, The Fight, Teddy Atlas admitted that although he thought the fight was very close, he believed that Roach had won enough rounds to be declared the winner. Listen, I'm not saying it wasn't a close fight. It was. But I think I'm gonna give it to Roach. I'd have to look at it again to be completely transparent, but I gotta give it to Roach. On the controversial knee that wasn't counted as a knockdown, Atlas put the blame firmly with the referee.
Came out. The great Terrence Crawford, pound for pound, one of the best fighters in the world, in the top 3 between him, Inoue, and Usyk, right? I got Usyk first. I got him and Inoue right there. I think Usyk deserves to be first after what he's done, putting together the heavyweight title, the whole thing, the whole shebang. But Crawford came out and said, I didn't know that was a rule. I guess I was sleeping when they passed that one. I guess I was taking a nap, or maybe I was out doing road work. He didn't.
What you was thinking when Tank did that when he took the knee? What you was thinking when he took the knee?
I can't speak on it.
Can't speak on that?
Can't speak on it.
He did some bullshit though?
I can't speak on it.
No personal opinion, nothing?
Can't. Especially.
He took a knee. He got hit with a jab before that, technically constituted as a knockdown. The referee blew it. The referee blew that. He blew that. That's a 10-8 round, and he should be the champion right now. Teddy Atlas continued his rants on the 9th round. I said it earlier. This isn't the Indianapolis 500. You can't go into pit row because your oil needs changing, your tires need swapping, or grease needs wiping from your eye. There's no pit row in boxing. Tank went down on a knee, and Roach, give him credit, or maybe say he should have gone after him because the saying is, defend yourself at all times, right? He would have been within his rights to attack.
But definitely we need better refs that assure themselves, know how to make a decision, know they're making the right decision, emboldened to make that decision. I think that I don't know that he would have let Roach.
I've seen fighters hit guys who are turning or walking away. The referee doesn't stop it unless the bell rings or he interjects. You have the right to hit that guy that's fighting. Roach had the right. He was a gentleman, a sportsman. I give him credit, but when Tank turned, Roach could have hit him with a left hook or whatever. He's a southpaw, so maybe a straight left or whatever it was his right to pursue and throw. Maybe he could have caught him and knocked him down while he was turning. It wouldn't have been the nicest thing to see, but he wouldn't have been wrong.
He's out doing road work. He didn't say that, by the way. I'm just adding that to it. But I must have been I must have been busy doing something with that rule. That is not a rule. I said it earlier. This is not the Indianapolis 500. You can't go into pit row. That you need.
Pointing out the real problems, he added, who was wrong? Tank and the referee who allowed him to take a knee, go to his corner, get whatever was obstructing his vision wiped away, and then go back to work. If the referee scores that a 10-8 round, which it technically should have been, even though I know he wasn't hurt, Roach doesn't get a draw, he wins the title. A lot of people with a plus 900 ticket are feeling pretty good right now. Despite the uncontroversial comments of Teddy Atlas, by the standards of many, the March 1st fight between Gervonta Tank Davis and Lamont Roach Jr. will go down as one of the most controversial bouts in recent boxing memory. Just about everybody in the sport has lamented referee Steve Willis's objectively poor judgment in allowing Davis to go to his corner in the middle of a round without reproach and not docking Davis a point for taking a knee.
We need better refs. We need more educated refs, whatever you want, trained refs. I'm not going to say honest because I don't know if honesty had something to do with it. I don't know.
What's more is that this bout will leave a sour taste in the boxing world's mouth, at least until the rumored rematch occurs, because Davis managed to escape with a majority draw, while a knockdown getting called would have earned Roach a win. Boxing legend Teddy Atlas didn't disagree with the sentiment around this atrocious refereeing and felt just as disheartened by the fight's outcome as everyone else. But in a recent episode of his The Fight with Teddy Atlas podcast, the former trainer also offered a glass half full opinion of the fight. That was high-level boxing, Atlas said of the Davis versus Roach fight. That was two guys at the highest level showing their skills and everything that goes with it. And contrary to that, a lot of people think that was high-level boxing. That was the sweet science at its best.
Replace their two quality fighters, short punches, putting them together on the inside. That's science. I know a lot of people say, no, Teddy, that's fire. That's offense. That's aggression. No, that's...
He later added, when you're inside, in a dangerous place, in the middle of the furnace, and you don't get burnt up, you don't get torched, you don't get scorched, that is high-level boxing. That is the sweetest of the sweets of science. I just marveled at it. These two guys, my goodness. There's no room for error. Both guys, especially Tank, are so dangerous. One little punch, bang, it's all over. Atlas concluded with, that fight was appreciated by me. They did their thing. Teddy Atlas went further, asking, is it possible he went in like everyone else who made him a minus 1,600 favorite, thinking he'd make short work of this guy? He might have bought into that even subconsciously, not wanting to, but it happens. That could have played a part. At the end of the day, it was Roach who made him have an off night.
That's the sweet science. You can do the sweet science and be aggressive. You don't have to do it on the outside only. You don't have to do it only, with separation. You don't have to do it only.
Of course, you don't expect a boxing veteran as reputable as Teddy Atlas to limit his boxing commentary to a eulogy, except it's an immediate post-fight comment that often happens so briefly and in any setting, but it's very far from that this time. On his podcast, Teddy Atlas went beyond singing praises to an insightful, in-depth analysis of the fight 2 weeks ago. To begin his comments, which were quite unique but respected, the legendary analyst and trainer Teddy Atlas revealed his winner of the Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach showdown. Roach had the right fight plan. He was longer, bigger, taller, used the jab on the outside, and fought with that geography. Then he started shrinking the ring, coming in, which, honestly, I didn't think he should do. I didn't know if he could. I thought that was dangerous territory for him, and it was, but he was prepared for it. I thought his territory was outside, and he used that jab, set traps, see if you could get Tank, a buttoned-up fighter who doesn't make many mistakes, to bite, get over anxious, get frustrated, or walk into a counter.
Where it's everybody in the world could see it, where you set traps all night long. You could set traps while you're pressing a fight too, on the inside. Force the guy to open up and then beat him.
Teddy Atlas lauded Lamont Roach's bravery and ability to silence a bully like Tank. Don't go into the lion's den. You might get your head bitten off, like others have. But he went into the lion's den the right way, with a tight guard behind the jab, doing Joe Louis stuff. I love Joe Louis. He threw the nicest, shortest right hands you've ever seen. Straight, 6 inches, no room to counter, no room for mistakes. Continuing the comparison, he added, Roach threw those kinds of right hands and left hooks, short punches. If you go inside a dangerous place with a guy like Tank, keep your defense tight. Throw short punches with no air, no room for his quick, powerful hands to sneak in between. You can get away with it. Roach did, and he prospered there.
It's the shot, throw short shots inside his little wider shots. That was the sweet science. That was high level fight, high level boxing. Really,
Yeah, that was a really
high-level
good fight.
stuff. High level stuff where there was no room for mistakes.
Before the fight, Teddy Atlas had spoken so highly of Gervonta Davis, as expected of anyone who's followed the World Boxing Association lightweight champion since the beginning of his career. Lamont Roach wasn't favored by many, except the weird Shakur Stevenson, who for his knowledge and familiarity with Lamont Roach and his boxing skills, predicted that Lamont Roach would fight it out against Gervonta Tank Davis till the final bell at the 12th round.
Choice, he knows how to do it if he wants to. At the end of the day, all of what I said, Bud, it's one thing that really makes the day. It's not because...
Earning the adoration of legendary boxing trainer Teddy Atlas is no small feat. Gervonta Tank Davis has done just that, though, heading into his bout with Lamont Roach Jr. on Saturday. Atlas broke down the fight and described Davis as one of the top pound-for-pound fighters, not just because of his power, but because of his ability to do everything. He's just a full package, Atlas said on his podcast, The Fight with Teddy Atlas. He's up there in the top 5 pound for pound. I don't put him there because he's a puncher. I put him there because he is a complete fighter. He could go get you. He can fight in the trenches. He could go to the body, the head. He could use his legs when he has to. He could set traps. He could counter punch. He could be patient and control, slowly shrinking the ring on you when he has to without getting ahead of himself, and he can punch like heck.
Because Tank Davis is just undefeated. It's not because Tank Davis is just a great puncher. He's just a full package. He's really, really the full...
Davis, who holds the World Boxing Association Lightweight Championship, hasn't gone beyond 9 rounds since his unanimous decision victory over Isaac Cruz on December 5th, 2021. Atlas wasn't dismissive of Lamont Roach's chances, though. The former trainer was effusive in his praise of Roach Jr. and his ability to do everything. Atlas believes that Roach Jr.'s best path to victory will be leaning heavily on his ability to outbox Davis. Roach Jr. is currently the World Boxing Association Junior Lightweight Champion, but hasn't fought above 130 pounds since 2017. He could go get you, Atlas said. He's got the attitude of a fighter. He's not a huge puncher. Obviously, Davis is the puncher in this, but Roach could go get you, but he could box. I think he's better served if he boxes. He's got long arms and good length. He's got a good boxing IQ and is fundamentally solid. He's better served to box on the outside with the always dangerous Tank.
I think he should stay away from trying to go on the inside, which again, he's got the attitude of a real fighter, which you love. And I wouldn't be shocked if Roach said, oh no, I'm going to go inside sometimes. I don't know that would be the best.
Another legendary trainer who weighed on the matter was Robert Garcia, who felt Lamont Roach did more than enough to earn the victory. Speaking to ES News, world-class trainer Robert Garcia, who corners the likes of Virgil Ortiz Jr. and Jesse Bam Rodriguez, said Gervonta Tank Davis had an off night. I think he's had much better performances. I don't know if it was personal problems. There's problems with the trainer, right? Something's going on. He walked right by the trainer, ignored one and went to the other. Maybe there were problems going on. Maybe camp didn't go as well because of problems. That stuff, those are distractions, things that happen in boxing that give you bad performances. Maybe that's the case.
Why not? Why didn't they hire a lawyer?
Just recently, Munguia, the ref counted a little bit too fast, a little bit faster than normally. They do. They did. Especially when you're fighting, when you're protecting somebody, you take a little bit, hold back, and come back. The ref went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and stopped it with Munguia. But he's got his reasons, whatever. We've seen it with Andrade, like you said. We've seen it many other times.
Josh Taylor, Jose Ramirez.
You seen it with
There's no question that should have been an 8 count. The ref is a very professional ref. He's one of the best in the world, but he made a big mistake right there. He helped the star.
The R trainer continued, I think Tank's much better than that, but I told Roach after the fight, congratulations, you did a great freaking job. World Boxing Council lightweight world champion Shakur Stevenson has said he wants to face both men. Tank in a unification, and Roach to prove that he can do a better job than his fellow titleist. Garcia backs him to beat both. Shakur with Lamont Roach? I think the way the fight went, I think Shakur probably beats both of them. But Garcia didn't end his comments without talking about that moment of controversy in the fight.
He helped the star, and when you know who the star is and who you're protecting, you still have to be fair, man.
With Fury and Wilder, when what's his name? Was counting when Fury was down. What's his name? Reese, Jack Reese. And a lot of people gave him that, but he did his job. He took his time also. Tyson against Buster Douglas. Tyson drops Buster Douglas, and I think it was like a 17 count. So Tyson could have knocked him out. Yes, okay, we understand. But in this case,
the controversial moment came in the 9th round. As the competitive fight unfolded, Davis surprised everyone in round 9 when he voluntarily took a knee and retreated back to his corner. The referee initially began counting, but then stopped and decided it wasn't a knockdown, something that left Roach furious. Tank later claimed it was due to grease dripping down from his hair into his eyes, but Trainer of the Year award winner Garcia now has a theory of his own. Garcia, a trainer who has operated at the highest level in boxing for a number of years, told Pro Box TV he feels Tank took the knee because he simply couldn't cope with Roach.
Tank, you voluntarily took a knee midway through this fight. It was not ruled a knockdown. What happened?
I just got my hair done 2 days ago, and she picked grease in my shit, so...
He was in there with a better man than him and kind of lost it a little, taking the knee because he was frustrated. There was no other question than that. That's what happened. The fight ended in a majority decision draw after scores of 115, 113 Davis, and 114, 114 twice, meaning if the 9th had been scored a 10, 8 round for Roach, it would have been enough to see him become the new World Boxing Association champion. The controversial moment led to Roach's team filing an official appeal with the New York State Athletic Commission, but it was rejected, and the original decision will remain.
Like when you sweating and things like that, and the grease come in my face, it burnt my eyes, type shit.
While he may have not got the result overturned, it's looking increasingly likely that Roach will get an immediate rematch with Tank this summer. Top trainer Robert Garcia also told Pro Box TV that not only does he believe Roach should have won the first bout, but that he is backing him in a rematch. I would love the commission to turn that decision around. Lamont should be champion, and even if they don't, I'm excited for the rematch. Just seeing Roach and his coach, their confidence, I think we'll see a better fight, and I think we'll see a better version of Lamont Roach, and he will become champion.
The fans there were there for Tank.
it's true. It's true. That's why the ref did that. If it would have been the other way around, he would have given him an
Okay,
knockout.
so
I guarantee you that. And the commission might say, oh no, that we back up the ref and we stay with.
We still have to be fair because Roach walked away with the draw, but he should have been champion right now. But moving up to being a two division champion.
Though the New York State Athletic Commission ruled to keep the result the same, the WBA may still order an immediate rematch as per President Gilberto Mendoza's comments. Regardless, both fighters say they want it to happen, with Davis claiming he will be ready as early as May. The most likely next move is a rematch, for which Tank has assured fans he is pushing for. That may not be necessary, with the New York State Athletic Commission currently looking into round 9 in particular, and potentially ordering a return bout as a result. Roach became just the 3rd man to go the full distance with a big punching Tank, and gave a great account of himself while doing so.
And beating somebody like Tank is huge for him, for his career, for his family, for his trainer, for everybody. I think that should have been a knockdown.
Then when he walks away, it's a fucking.
Would you hire a lawyer?
Yes.
I don't think so.
Yes.
You could have done that for a million things. You never done it.
Yeah, they have to fight it. His promoter, Pro Box TV, is already fighting that shit. They have to. Hell yeah, they have to. It's Pro Box, yeah, they have to fight it.
Hey, maybe they'll do like with Haney. Haney's undefeated again, right?
Yeah.
They'll take the draw away. They'll make a no contest.
You know what? That's what they're gonna end up doing, and that sucks because Roach needs to have that win.
Yeah.
They're gonna.
Though he lost on one scorecard and the other two judges called it a draw, Davis taking a knee in the 9th round and failing to be called a knockdown by referee Steve Willis means Roach should have left the ring as champion. Roach put on the performance of a lifetime against Davis, who had beaten all 30 of his prior opponents and claimed stoppage victories over 28 of them. There have been many calls for the rematch to take place next, including from Roach himself. Although the 29-year-old from Washington, D.C. has also admitted he would be interested in facing World Boxing Association lightweight champion Shakur Stevenson next if he is unable to secure a deserved second opportunity against Tank Davis. And that's all for now. For the very best updates on news, moments, events, and actions in the world of boxing, stay connected with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to turn on notifications to get notified when we drop quality contents like this. Until next time, peace out.